Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. We have a clip here of Peter Doocy going up against Karine Jean-Pierre, and her face says everything with what's about to happen regarding her being questioned on Bidenomics. This is one you are not going to want to miss. Support us by hitting that like and subscribe button. Share this link with your friends and family all over social media. Let's roll it.
Seriously.
Thanks, Karine. On lowering prices, you said earlier that the actions the president has taken have worked. So is it your sense that when people were home for Thanksgiving, catching up with their family members, they were saying to each other, can you believe how much more affordable things have gotten?
So honestly, I wouldn't, I hear the question, but I want to make sure this is very clear. We take that very seriously. We take what families, the decisions that they make at their kitchen table, whether it's during Thanksgiving or whether it is every month as they're trying to make hard decisions about how they move forward with taking care of their family. We take that very seriously. It's not a joke to us. It is important to us. This is the president who talks about it in a very personal way when he talks about what families have to go through, working families, middle-class families, and that's why he's taking actions that he has. And so, look,
what actions has he taken? I mean, you are being screwed on all fronts. Grocery bill through the roof. You have gas prices through the roof. Your heating and air conditioning bills are up like 75%. I mean, what has he done? To the point where as you're sitting at your kitchen table, you can look around and see all the things Joe Biden wants to remove. For example, he wants to remove your gas-powered stove. So there's another thing he wants to screw you over on. You're getting screwed on all fronts, and he's going to sit there and have the balls to tell you, oh, he's doing everything he cares about you. He's losing sleep over it. Come on.
Fact is, the data shows that the economy is improving. The data shows that households remain in a strong financial position. Household wealth is at a record high, with lower income households seeing the largest gain since the pandemic. Those are indeed what we're seeing. But we don't take lightly. We do not take lightly what Americans and families continue to feel.
You know, she just kind of like threw that in there. Well, you know, since the pandemic, I mean, it's amazing how they're using that as a metric. When things were like at their all-time low, you know, she's going to use the pandemic. Well, things are better since then. Yeah, everything was shut down. It's pretty hard not to be better than what was going on during the pandemic. God, it's so wild.
Well, that's why the president at 2 o'clock is going to talk about what the actions that he's taking to continue to lower costs.
But why do you think it is that when you say the economy is improving and President Biden says the economy is improving, that a majority of Americans outside of this building are not buying it?
So here's the thing. When we walked into this administration, the economy was on a tailspin. That is the fact. Because of the last administration, because of the Trump administration, because of how they dealt with COVID and the pandemic.
What? She's gonna blame Trump? She's gonna blame Trump for what's going on. You just got done saying everything's fine. Your wealth is through the roof. You're skipping down the street because everything's so great and dandy, and now you're gonna blame everything that's happening on Trump 3 freaking years later, you guys. You couldn't make it up. It's just so
because they didn't have a comprehensive plan. The president came in, he passed the American Rescue Plan, which was able to get the economy back on its feet, which was able to open up small businesses were able to open up, schools were able to open up, and we understand what Americans have been feeling over the last 2-3 years. It's going to take some time. We get that. It's going to take some time, but it does.
That's the messaging that it's been 3 years. Well, the Inflation Reduction Act, you just haven't really felt the effects of it, even though it doesn't do anything of reducing inflation. You haven't talked about the American Rescue Plan of pumping the economy full of trillions of dollars that cause inflation, that quote unquote cause them to introduce and enact the Inflation Reduction Act, which, like I said, doesn't reduce inflation whatsoever. And then she's going to be boasting on how prices are going down, that everything's grand and dandy, everything's fine. Joe Biden understands your kitchen table issues, but then is going to blame what's happening on Donald Trump. They don't know what the hell's going on, you guys. They can't explain anything. It's just easy to point towards Donald Trump.
Does not take away how we have seen the economy getting back on its feet. We actually had to fix the problem that we saw that the last administration left us.
Wild.
Almost 3 years in office. Inflation is up over 17% since President Biden came here. And you're saying that's still Trump's fault?
Inflation is moderating because of the actions that this president has taken.
Doesn't
Because
that just mean that prices are going up slower? They're still high.
It's going down. The prices are going down. If you look at for a perfect example, I mean, I just talked about last week how turkey prices, the cost for turkeys is going down. The cost for eggs is going down because of the actions that were taken.
She's going to pull the same BS that Gavin Newsom of California posted on Twitter that we covered in yesterday's episode. This is the gaslighting that we've been talking about, folks. That's why you need to follow the Bald Brad Show, because we call the crap out from the White House. It's bull crap. Your meal for Thanksgiving is 25% higher since Joe Biden took office. Yes, it is down compared to last year. It is still up 25% since that dude took office. Since January of 2021, like I said, your gas bill's up like 40%, grocery bill's up like 20 to 35%, depending on where you're at. Your heating and air conditioning is up 75%. So don't listen to them. It's bull. It's bull, but everything's fine. Well, at the same time, we're going to blame Donald Trump for everything.
I just talked about supply chain and how that affects the economy. And that's because of the president's action that he's taken. And if you think about gas prices, it's down by $1.70 since its peak, because of the actions that this president has taken.
Since its peak, dude, you caused it. You caused it. No joke, we went full at length on this, where they always start the data for when Putin invaded Ukraine, and that's why they called it the Putin price hike. Ted Cruz comes out and gives a phenomenal graph of how gas prices were already going through the roof from the first week you took office, lady. Granted, she wasn't there, but the knucklehead that's the puppet of the left-wing part of the government, meaning the Democrat Party and the progressive left, Joe Biden, is the one that caused it. It's so remarkable that Democrats will still vote for this type of messaging, blatantly lying to your face, giving you the double middle finger. They'll still just lop it all up. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. How do you believe this stuff? It's so crazy.
So we understand that people are still not feeling it. We get that. But doesn't mean that we're not going to continue to talk about it. Doesn't mean that the president at 2 o'clock is not going to talk about how he's lowering cost, right? And let's not forget what Republicans are doing on the other side of again, Pennsylvania
Wild.
Avenue. They're trying to increase healthcare costs. They want to get rid of Medicare. They want to get rid of Social Security. That is something that we saw them try to do.
Just another lie. Oh, they're trying to get rid of Social Security. I mean, you're talking Hail Mary throws right now. It's like, what is the most outlandish thing she could possibly say? And she's going to try to say it. They're trying to destroy the government. Donald Trump's a threat to democracy. These ultra MAGA extremists are trying to destroy the republic. They're getting rid of your Social Security. Gas prices are down and your grocery bills are lower. Who the hell actually believes any of that? Honest to God. Are you guys with me on this? On how outlandish things have gone from this White House? Remember how the press were beating up Donald Trump, Kayleigh McEnany, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, hell, Nikki Haley at times. You name it, whoever's on that podium, they were going after left and right for even them talking truths. Nobody's calling them out other than Peter Doocy on any of the stuff. It's all about Gaza, Palestine, Israel, which rightfully so. But she's blatantly lying here. Just nobody's batting an eye over it. Just like, oh yeah, everything's fine.
The union, right? They do that over and over and over again. They want to make sure the millionaires and billionaires are actually getting the benefits, right? And so that's not our way. Our way is to build the middle class from the bottom up, middle out, and the president believes in that. He talks about it. You're going to hear him talk about it in about an hour, and that's going to be our focus.
Oh, she has the balls to sit there. Oh, they're worried about the middle class, you guys. I mean, I know I'm repeating myself. Grocery bills are higher. Gas is higher. You've lost $4,000 to $5,000 in your retirement since Joe Biden's taken office. I mean, do we need to go down the laundry list of things of how he's screwing the middle class over? He's just having the IRS right now change their tax brackets in the interval to screw you over because some people are making more money, even though things have doubled in price, meaning goods and services. So it actually equals itself out. So not only are you not making more money in reality because your expenses have offset whatever gains you had on that level, but now the IRS is changing the intervals, the tax brackets, so that you move up a tax bracket because you're making more money. So now you're getting double screwed, but Joe Biden's going to stand on that podium through the mouthpiece there of Karine Jean-Pierre and tell you that you're A-okay, everything is fine. It's just like, oh, I mean, it's our bread and butter to call out the BS. That's what we do here on the Bald Brad Show. We call out the BS of the Biden administration, and it's rampant. Nothing but content that comes from this lady here, Karine Jean-Pierre. Not a damn clue. She couldn't find any answers in her notebook, which is why she was pulling, you know what, right out of her, you know what, and throwing it right in your face and expecting people to believe it. And the sad thing is, the Democrats will, the progressive left will lop this up in big times, and they'll drove out in big numbers to vote for Joe Biden again, folks. So in 2024, make sure you get out and vote. If you enjoyed this episode of the Bald Brad Show, hit that like and subscribe button. Share this link with your friends and family all over social media. We got a lot of goodies in the description section for you. Please check all those out. We got a lot of holiday gifts, merchandise, mugs, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and we got a book here, Trojan Horse How to Left is Destroying America. Get yourself a copy today, folks. I'll see you tomorrow here on the Bald Brad Show.